Sound check. Hello. Sound check. Hello. Hello, hello. Sound check. Hello, sound check. Hello, sound check. Hello, sound check. Because connected na, no? Sound check. Hello.
Ano siya? Yes, sir. Low.
God, our Father, praise and thank you for this.
Thank you so much. Kami pala ako ang... Where's the chair? Oh my God, akong boy.
So, so before we formally start our event for this afternoon, we request everyone inside the SB session hall to please turn off your phones or please do airplane mode or please silent your phones so that our participants will not be distracted during the arguments. So, 1 minute refresher before we formally start our event.
Almighty God, our Father, we praise and thank you for this day. You have given us another opportunity to appreciate life and to fulfill our mission as your instruments of peace and progress. Please pardon us for our shortcomings. Help us to amend our impieties. May we learn to pattern our lives through your Son's example. Father, bless our endeavors, especially today's meeting. Guide us in our discussions. Enlighten our minds in every decision that we make. Give us your courage and grace that we may effectively do our part as public servants. Bless our plans, programs, and projects so that we may achieve our objectives for your greater glory. All this we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Hello. Okay, a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious afternoon to each and everyone. My name is Joshua A. Santa Cruz, and I'll be your host for the SDG Debate Cup 2025 in celebration of the Linggo ng Kabataan Municipal-wide 2025. Wow. Okay, so let's cut the formality. Okay, guys, we're all friends here, right? So please bear with me. This is never my first time, but it's my first time hosting a debate cup. Okay? Okay. Okay, so now, as I have formally welcomed you here to our event as part of the celebration of the Linggo ng Kabataan, I am very honored, of course, to be your host. And to formally start our event, may I first acknowledge the participants of this afternoon's event. Okay, first, we have Ipil Shepherd Montessori Center. Please rise. Let's give them a round of applause, please. Also, our participants from Zamboanga Sibugay National High School. We also have the participants from YPAC Ipil, or Young Professionals Artists Club, LGBT Ipil. And to our fourth participants for this event, we have SK Poblacion Ipil. Okay, so on behalf of the SK Federation Council and the Municipality of Ipil, we are very grateful for your presence here. Thank you so much for accepting the challenge and participating sa atuang event this afternoon, despite the short notice. But I do believe in your capabilities. You're here to represent your school or your barangay, and you're here because you're just here. Thank you so much. No? But before I introduce you to our Board of Judges, let me first clarify our house rules, okay? Would that be okay with you guys? Okay, number one house rule is turn off your phones, especially when someone is speaking right up front. Please turn off your phones or i-silent in yung phone, no? Or is it okay nga i-airplane mode na to? No, because you will have distractions. We're all friends here, right? So please bear with me. And another thing is, we discourage the participants to step out of the hall, especially when the argument is still ongoing. To all the four participants here, four teams here sa Atoang Debate Cup. Is that okay? And of course, teachers or facilitators, please facilitate our students na lang po. So, I think that's all for the house rules. Thank you so much. And if you do have questions, we'll give you 1 minute to ask, no? Kay para smooth gud ato ang flow sa ato ang debate cup. Is that okay? Okay, di mo motubag? Ang dili motubag, charot. No, let's keep this debate formal. Of course, what is an event without the Board of Judges? So first and foremost, I'd like to introduce you to our first judge. Okay. He is 57 years old, married to Mrs. J. Robles Alcoriza. They have 3 children, 2 professionals, both medical technologists by profession. And the youngest is a civil engineering student. He is the Vice President for Western Mindanao Alliance Men Philippines, the former Vice President for Mindanao, currently Mindanao Treasurer, Gideon's International in the Philippines, a former Alumni President of Morgan College, former 3-termer SB member of the Municipality of Ipil from 2010 to 2019, and of course the elected as SB member of the local government unit of Ipil 2025 to 2028. Ladies and gentlemen, our first judge is none other than Honorable Alberto Ardiente Alcoriza Jr. A round of applause, please. And to our second judge, he is my friend. Our judge number 2 is a local youth development officer designate in the municipality of Ipil, Zamboanga, Sibugay, a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education, major in English at Dr. Aurelio Mendoza Memorial Colleges, currently serving as the local youth development officer, Laido of Ipil, Zamboanga, Sibugay, working closely with the Sangguniang Kabataan Federation and youth organizations in planning, implementing, and monitoring youth development programs. Former SK chairperson and barangay councilor with years of grassroots leadership experience in youth and community development. Serving as the president of Yorang Youth for Reform and Advocacy Movement, an initiative created under the leadership of Mayor Rambo Oligario, dedicated to empowering the youth sector in Ipil. An event host for various government and corporate events, including product launches and municipal activities. Actively engaged in implementing Republic Act 11768, LIDA Strengthening Act, and promoting youth participation in governance, leadership, and community development. An event organizer and coordinator of major youth-related programs, such as Linggo ng Kabataan celebrations, trainings, seminars, pageants, and other capacity-building initiatives. Strong advocate for youth, empowerment, sustainable development goals, SDGs, and meaningful youth participation in local governance. Ladies and gentlemen, our second judge for this afternoon is none other than Mr. Greg Oliver Garcia Epad. A round of applause, please. Laro, ha? And, of course, our chairperson of the Board of Judges. Our judge for today is a municipal government assistant department head assigned at the Municipal Social Welfare and Development Office, a former debater and extemporaneous speaker during his college years at Ateneo de Zamboanga University. He also pursued 3 years of legal studies at the Western Mindanao State University College of Law. Beyond government service, he has worked as a researcher for various international NGOs. Authored Coffee Table Book, is that correct, sir? Coffee Table Book, and established himself as a social media influencer, tourism advocate, and a member of the Rotary Club of Ipil, Sibugay. As a writer, he was able to write the 4 state of the municipality addresses of our former Mayor Inday Ami Oligario. Ladies and gentlemen, our chairperson of the Board of Judges is none other than Mr. Ulysses Almocera. Okay, now as I have introduced you to our Board of Judges, or panel of judges, I'm going to read to you now the reading. The guidelines, and of course, the criteria. But for the criteria, we have to omit it since the facilitators or the teachers and I, also with the judges, we have discussed it earlier that they have their own, what do you call that? Nasili kaugalingong pagpili sa ilang gusto madaog. Is that okay? But for transparency, we can ask them. Okay? So I'm going to read to you the guidelines for our SDG Debate Cup 2025. Okay. So, in celebration of the Linggo ng Kabataan 2025 with a local theme, local youth actions for SDGs and beyond, the SDG Debate Cup aims to engage young people in critical thinking, constructive dialogue, and persuasive communication. So, let's move on to the tournament format. Sample bracket flow will be Team A versus Team B, and Team C versus Team D. So, judges, we have already picked kinsa ni siya sa ato for Team A and Team B. Okay. And for the sample assigned debate, for first semifinal, we have Team A and Team B. Their discussion will be Education and Youth, SDG 4 and 8. Barangays usually leave youth out of real planning. Should the SK and young people have formal decision-making power, not just token consultation. Okay. And for the Team C and Team D, governance and peace, SDG 16 and 17. SK funds are always debated in barangays. Should they go to sports, short-term and popular, or education and training, long-term and sustainable? And for the finals, the two teams advancing to the finals, the argument will be environment and climate, SDG 13 and 15. Should Ipil ban single use of plastics? Okay, is that clear, teams? And of course, we have changed the debate format. As you have read, the guidelines written there is 7 minutes, then 5 minutes. But sa among na-discussed earlier, we gi-cut down na mo siya into 5 minutes, and 3 minutes. And if so ever, there is a motion raised earlier, it's part of their act or argument that they have to ask questions. As per our chairperson of the Board of Judges, he told us na you can raise motions after the first minute and before the last minute of the time sa inyong argument. Is that clear, everyone? Okay, since we're here naman sa ato ang the debate format, if you have any more questions, because, you know, when you step up here sa podium, you can never ask questions anymore. You just have you and your teammates and your arguments. So, everyone is given the chance to ask questions before we start the formal debate for this afternoon. And the judges are very willing to answer them. So, do you have any more questions, everyone? There'd be none, I think. I have to, okay. A question from the Zamboanga Sibugay National High School. Other questions? Do you have other more questions? Okay, from Montessori Center. Other questions from YPAC and SK Publishon. Oh, they have none. I think they're all ready. Okay, so for the information of everyone, we are live at SB Ipil. So, okay, we are live at SB Ipil Facebook page. So, say hi to your family now. Charot. Hi, Dad, Mom. Charot. Okay, so additionally, sa ato ang debate format, if so ever our argument does not consume the 5 minutes and we have to stop, right? If so ever our arguments are done and then we haven't consumed the entire 5 minutes, we just have to step back and allow the time to finish and then or cut na din, sir. Diretso na ta. The next speaker will, okay, so, okay, yes, wipe back. SB Ipil, Facebook page. Yes. And as of the moment, we have 3 million viewers. Shout out. Shout out to our 3 million viewers, namely my mom, dad, and brother. Okay. So, no, we are live, so, but, okay. To clear this out, written here in our guidelines, the language to be used should be English or Tagalog. But, okay na to, sir. Okay, but we discourage you guys to speak in vernacular. Since this is a debate, we have to keep it formal. I know nga, we're very bihasa to speak in Bisaya, but since this is a competition, we have to follow the rules in speaking in English or Tagalog. Okay, another question. Do you have any more questions? So that I can introduce everyone to Team A and Team B and to properly start our debate cup. Okay, so for the timekeeping, since we don't have any bells right here, after 5 minutes or when the 5 minutes is already consumed, ako na lang may istorya mismo, time's up. And then the speaker will stop, of course. Okay, we'll stop talking, we'll stop with the argument, and save that for next year's SDG Debate Cup. Charot. We're all friends here, right? So, are you ready? Ay, hinay ang tingog. Are you ready, teams? Okay, ang pinakasaba mo yung yes, plus points. Plus points sa PNP and PDEA. Charot. Okay, just to, kuan lang, to keep the mood, basta. Okay, let's be friendly here, guys, ha? Let's, we are discouraging you guys to, use inappropriate words during debate. I know we have the temper na gyud, pero please stop that. Sa balay na lang ninyo na ipadayon. Okay? So, judges, I think we're ready. Okay, participating teams. For Team A and Team B. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I will introduce to you our Team A and Team B, but before that, I'll read to you the argument first. Okay, the assigned debate topic for Team A and Team B for the semifinal, they are to discuss education and youth, SDG 4 and 8. Barangay usually leave youth out of real planning. Should the SK and young people have formal decision-making power, not just token consultation? Again, barangay usually leave youth out of real planning. Should the SK and young people have formal decision-making power, not just token consultation? Okay, for the affirmative side, or Team A, we have Ipil Shepherd Montessori Center. A round of applause, please. Please proceed here to the podium. And to argue with the negative side, we have Team B. We have the team of Sangguniang Kabataan, Poblacion, Ipil. A round of applause, please. No? So, technical team, I suggest we have to ready our time for us to properly start our debate. 5 minutes on the screen, please. And now, to formally start our debate, may I call on the first speaker from the affirmative side, coming from Ipil Shepherd Montessori Center.
So to formally start, I would like to greet you all. A pleasant afternoon to each of us. So we have been questioned, should the SK and young people have formal decision-making powers, not just taking consultation? So our answer is firmly yes. The Sangguniang Kabataan, or SK, and young people should have formal is often limited by lack of financial independence within barangays. Youth participation is often from local government officials, hindering their ability to maximize engagement. So according to our national hero, which is Jose Rizal, so he stated that we or us youth is the hope of our nation. So we individuals, we and the SK should have a participation to promote the unity we want to fulfill in our local. So according to RA 10742 or in LYDC, it stated that the youth participation is crucial in promoting active and strong economy. These mandatory training programs are required for SK officials and LYDC members to enhance their skills and knowledge. So the LYDC simply refers to the Local Youth Development Council. So by the process or by the unity of the youth participation and the SK official, we can have a strong and very active economy. So in today's generation, we've seen that there were lots of individuals are locked to engage their voices. So there were lots of hindrance against it that could be explained by my theme and that could be all. Thank you.
And to our first speaker for the negative side, coming from the SK Poblacion Ipil.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, honorable adjudicators, esteemed opponents, and my fellow debaters. Today, we stand firmly on the opposition of this motion. The question before us is, should the Sangguniang Kabataan and the youth should be given formal decision-making power in barangays instead of mere consultation? At first glance, it may sound appealing to grant young people greater power. After all, they represent the future of our communities. But upon closer inspection, giving the SK and the youth formal decision-making authority possess serious risks that outweigh the potential benefits, and allow me to explain and elaborate why. First, lack of experience and expertise. First and foremost, governance is not child's play. Decision-making in barangays involves budgets, ordinances, legal frameworks, and complex resource allocation. These are areas that require years of experience, technical training, and a deep understanding of the community as a whole, or should I say in its entirety. Okay? And while the youth are full of energy and fresh ideas, the hard truth is that most do not yet have the expertise to manage such critical responsibilities. Imagine entrusting multi-million or ₱1 million barangay budgets or crucial disaster response plans to a group still navigating schoolwork and personal development. I am talking about the Sangguniang Kabataan, yet they still navigating schoolwork and personal development. So the risk of mismanagement, even with good intention, is simply too high. Second, accountability issues. With decision-making comes accountability. If a project fails, if funds are mishandled, or if a policy harms residents, the people in power must answer for it. Are we prepared to put such a heavy burden on our young people or our so-called Sangguniang Kabataan, some as young as 18, who may not yet have the maturity or stability to face legal and political consequences? Barangay officials, on the other hand, are directly elected by the all constituents and are held accountable under clear legal frameworks. The SK is elected too, yes, but its scope is limited. It's only the youth, and for good reason. It is meant to train youth in leadership, not to place on their shoulders the same responsibility as the barangay captains and councilors. Number 3, representation concerns. Another crucial point. The SK represents only the youth, but barangays are made up of diverse groups such as the elderly, the parents, the workers, the farmers, and the small business owners, giving the SK equal decision-making power risk, overemphasizing youth-centered concern while sidelining other sectors. So this creates imbalance. Decision at the barangay level must reflect the needs of the entire community, not just one age group, no matter how important that group may be. Consultation ensures that the youth are heard, but the final say must rest with the official responsible for all sectors. Thank you.
Mic test.
5 minutes on the clock.
Good afternoon, everyone, esteemed judges and guests. So I am here to represent our body. How you said that it is not lack of experience, but SK officials are going to run for these positions on the Sangguniang Kabataan because they are already motivated and they are shouting for change. They want a diverse community. So youth is the backbone of this country and a hope of our future. So you said that lack of experience. That's why we are running, or that's why we are shouting for voice, because we want to be heard. We want to be heard. We want to raise our voice to use this, no? And lack of experience. That's why barangay officials are going to supervise and guidance the SKs or Sangguniang Kabataan. And to the budget, the SK or Sangguniang Kabataan has the 10% budget of the overall budget of the barangay, but should not exceed 20% to ensure transparency, or when the budget that consumed by the SK or Sangguniang Kabataan exceed 20%, the barangay officials are already on the clock to investigate where is the budget came from. So the factors that would improve the SK or the community in a local barangay is promote grassroots participations. So by having the kabataan or Sangguniang Kabataan and young people to have a voice, we can promote a grassroots participations in such a locals, and promote grassroots participations in many fields, such as in a by simply asking what do we want, not just by that what they want or what the barangay officials want. So by easily raising our concern and using our voice, we can build a humane and sustainable community. Then strengthen LYDC or Local Youth Development Council. By having a voice or a power to decision making, we can strengthen the local youth development councils by promoting more humane and more factors events. So my oppositions, can I ask you one question? Does the Sangguniang Kabataan have their individual or independent bank accounts?
Yes. I believe yes, because as what you have said, the 10% of the budget of the barangay will fall into the account of Sangguniang Kabataan.
Okay, let's cut the reasoning. Let's proceed to the second affirmative speaker.
But
Please sit down. Sir judges. Excuse, we still have the time, sir. Oh, here. I think, okay, we stopped at 1 minute and 30 seconds. Okay, so the opposition side, let us listen to the second affirmative speaker to finish the 1 minute and 30 seconds. Okay? You just have to answer it in a yes or no form. No reasonings. Okay? So 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock, please.
But according Ms. Mutel, RA 10742, the Sangguniang Kabataan has no independent bank accounts, but dependent to the barangay officials. And only 10% of the local budget of the barangays can be used of Sangguniang Kabataan on their projects. That's why that the lack of financial independence or freedom interfering the moves of our Sangguniang Kabataan. So they can create more activities to raise more diverse community because they are lack of budget. So 10% and being dependent to barangay bank account is not sustainable. So we need to make a power for decision making. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Second negative speaker for the SK Publication Ipil. But before that, okay, technical break first. Is that okay? Okay, so not a technical difficulties. Our technical team or assigned person is having trouble with the clock on the screen. So mangita sa daw siya og ano po kanang a clock or a timer. Would that be okay for the participating teams, especially to the judges? Or we have to kuan na lang magamat na lang taga to ang time. And then okay na? Ako na lang is it okay nga mag-time and then okay na sir, or ako na lang mag-time? Sige, let's phone na lang sa ta sir. Ikaw na lang mag-time sir, ako na lang. Sige, okay.
Okay na, sir.
Okay, so 5 minutes on the clock.
Okay.
And go.
With all due respect to my dear opponents, I demand to disagree with your decisions. Yes, in our own constitution, and the Article 2, Section 13, which says that the youth or the Sangguniang Kabataan has the vital role in building what do you call this? In building a national building, and it also supported by the Republic Act 10742, which is the SK Reform Act of 2015. But let me emphasize it that it does not specifically, or it ensures only the participation of the youth, but not the decision making. There is a law in our constitution, Article 11, which emphasizes that public officers must be accountable by the people. Therefore, youth must they have the freedom. We, as a youth, have the freedom to say something. It could be anything you want, but that doesn't mean na lahat ng sinasabi nyo ay kailangan ng actions, because at the end of the day, it is the official or the barangay officials has the right to make the final decisions. Since let's give an example. If you are mishandled wrong use of funds, and you used it in a wrong project, or you failed a project, who do you think is responsible or legally liable in that problem? Is the SK leaders? Is the youth are accountable of that? Of course not. It is always the barangay officials. That's why we have the article. We have the article which is Republic Act 10 742 only to help us. It actually listened to our voice. That's why this Republic Act made, because they already heard our voice. But that doesn't mean that you are allowed to have the decision making, because when you misuse things, or you are not, what do you call this? You are not ready to go beyond the decision making. It's because we need we need preparation, not premature promotions. Are you sure that in relation to the SDG, or the Sustainable Development Goals, is this as a youth, are we equitable enough to provide, or are we equitable enough, professional enough to support the decision makings? Are we trained enough to go beyond of the expectations of our nations? Law is not designed as power. It is giving us the space to learn leadership bago tayo sumabak sa mga mabibigat na responsibilidad. Youth has the freedom to say something they want. Anything that, any opinion that they can say. But at the end of the day, how can you guarantee that what you were trying to say is tama? So, wait lang. So, in relation to our sustainable development goals, the voice of the youth doesn't mean that we deny it, but it is just helping us to be more accountable sa future. So that's all. Thank you.
And for the rebuttal of both sides, may I request for 3 minutes on the clock? 3 minutes. Okay, each teams will be given 3 minutes to present their rebuttals.
So a pleasant afternoon to each and everyone. So as what you've said earlier, that the freedom that every youth have the freedom. Now why is it that we don't have the freedom to make our own decisions? You've stated that you listen to our voice. But why is it na sinabi mo that in the end of the day, that the barangay officials will still have the right to make the decisions? Now, in what part of it that our voice is heard? In what part of this that that our values are mattered? So by granting formal decision making to us young people and SK, the barangay can foster a more inclusive and progressive environment, ensuring that our voice and our values in the local governance is heard. Now you've told us earlier that your team told us that we lack experience and expertise. Then how are you sure that we lack that? How are you sure that what's the right term? Oh, how can we how can we develop our experience if wala kaming right sa paggawa ng desisyon? How could we raise our voices if we're not heard? So in line with this, if if the S if the SK or the young people have the right to make our own decisions, so it could usher us, not just us but also our locality, some positive effects. It could benefit our social, political, economic, and other aspects. So I guess that would be all for me.
Good afternoon. To sum all of what my co-speakers have said, we are not against youth participation. We are against premature power. The constitutions recognize our role, but it also provides safeguards through structures like SK to ensure our training. The SDG call for inclusive and sustainable governance, but sustainability is impossible without preparations. So in addressing your questions, the power of barangay officials is highly different from the in SK or youth. As like what my co-speaker have said a while ago, that SK has limits on decision making. So to entrust full decision making now is not empowerment. It is abandonment, because true empowerment is through training, guidance, and gradual responsibilities. Yes, we are the hope of the nations, but hope must be nurtured before it can be entrusted with the nation's future. To formally end our remarks, we leave you a quote-unquote that youth must be guided today so they can lead wisely tomorrow. Thank you, and that would be all.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is our first teams competing for the SDG 4 and 8. We have Ipil Shepherd Montessori Center and SK Poblacion Ipil. A round of applause, please. So may I request the participants to please do stand up, and okay, so our judges will be giving off their verdicts right now. So to start with, our first judge, Honorable Jongjong Alcariza.
Hello, good afternoon. Ipil Shepherd Montessori Center, no? And the Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Poblacion. Okay. In terms of the content of the argument between the two of you, I think the Barangay Poblacion could deliver much better compared to the Ipil Shepherd Montessori Center. I was listening to the first speaker. You have the tendency to eat your words, so I could not understand the whole thing. Anyway, I think what is important here is that you have participated. I think this is just the start of something bigger in the municipality of Ipil. No, you can practice more in the next coming contest. But at this point in time, my score is really favors the Sangguniang Kabataan of.
Thank you so much, Honorable Jongjong Alcariza, for that verdict. And now, to our second judge, Mr. Greg Oliver Epat.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Congratulations to both teams, both Ipil Shepherd Montessori School and SK Poblacion. You both did a great job, but my task here is to decide only one winner, and my vote is for Ipil Shepherd Montessori.
Okay, thank you so much. Also,
So for me, I would just like to congratulate all of you for this is a start in the municipality of Ipil, and we're glad that we have the Honorable Alcorisa for us, so that next time we will be having this kind of activities, we will have more support from the Sangguniang Bayan. And that's why every Wednesday I would like to invite everyone to watch SB Ipil sa ilaang Facebook page, so that you would also learn more on how our ordinances and resolutions are being crafted. Kay someday, kamo may ang maglingkod diri, no? And then this is a very good start. Don't get discouraged if dili kay taano. And then I would advise everyone to stay until the end of this activity, so that you would learn more on how to deliver and how to state your arguments. So leading that, for Shepherd Montessori, you have stated the LYDC. You also have stated some parts of the SDGs, which is also commendable, no? On your for the negative side, I appreciate how you laid out the risks and potentials of giving this kind of power to the Sangguniang Bayan. For that, you also enumerated the different risks and responsibilities that comes with punishment by the law, which strengthened your argument. So this time, to split the decision, I'm going to give my vote to the Sangguniang Kabataan of Poblacion.
thank you so much, Judge number 3. And you have it, ladies and gentlemen, for the first argument, we have our winner, the Sangguniang Kabataan of Poblacion, Ipil, Zamboanga, Sibugay. A round of applause, please. Okay. I think we need a photo op. Is it okay, judges? Photo op sa? Or later na lang? Later na lang, sir? Okay. Okay. Photo opportunity. Ipil Shepherd and SK Poblacion Ipil. Is it okay? Mag-picture set ta? Okay. I'll just stand on your podium. Both teams. Kana makita lang mo. Kailangan pa talaga ng tie-grab. Kailangan pa talaga ng tiebreaker grab. Charot. Okay. I love the thrill. I love the Okay, once again, congratulations to both teams. Ipil Shepherd Montessori Center and Sangguniang Kabataan Poblacion, Ipil, Zamboanga, Sibugay. Isn't this exciting, ladies and gentlemen? The thrill, the arguments, and the fight. Let us keep the fire burning.
Some clarifications on the rules of questioning participants. Pwede maminaw lang.
Yes, you can, sir. Teams, please do listen for clarification sa ito ang Board of Judges.
So, clarifications on giving your questions or you're raising your points. You can only raise your points when your opponents are speaking. So, you are not going to question your opponents when it's your time to speak. So, like what happened ganina. So, for example, the opposition, like the government side is speaking, the opposition can raise their points and question the government side. However, the government side can also deny and proceed with their argument. So, pwede nila dili dawaton ang question. And again, you cannot ask the question during the first and the last minute of the speaker. Kay mauman ang ila ang time para mahatag ang ilang points ug maupod ilang time para ma-wrap up. You can only ask the question in between their arguments, and your questions should be limited to at least to be at the maximum of 15 seconds kay kauno naman niya ang oras sa inyo ang opponent. So katara.
Okay, is that clear, team? So, additional lang po, if you're asked, just limit your answers only to yes or no. You don't have to reason out why you said yes or no. Okay? So, let us keep the fire burning in this fight. Okay. For the next argument to be discussed is the governance and peace, SDG both 16 and 17. SK funds are always debated in barangays. Should they go to sports, short-term and popular, or education and training, which is long-term or sustainable? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, to our first affirmative team, we have Zamboanga Sibugay National High School. A round of applause, please. And to the negative side, we have the YPAC Ipil Young Professionals Artists Club, LGBT Ipil. A round of applause, please. So once again, we highly encourage everyone to please stay hantod sa mga natong show. Okay? So, once again, I will present to you the argument to be discussed by both teams. For the governments and peace, SDG 16 and 17, SK funds are always debated in barangays. Should they go to sports, which is short-term or popular, or education and training, which is long-term and sustainable? For the affirmative side, we have Zamboanga Sibugay National High School. And to the negative side, we have the YPAC Ipil, or the Young Professional Artists Club, LGBT Ipil. I need 5 minutes on the clock. And to start with our argument, may I request the first speaker for the affirmative side, coming from the Zamboanga Sibugay National High School. Okay, wait lang, i-set sa namo. Low.
The SK is tasked to represent the voices of the youth, not just the youth, but as well as the overall population, leading to a progressive community and beyond. Good day to our esteemed Board of Judges, to the opposing team, and to our fellow debaters. Humanity today stands to a crossroad. One path lies on convenience, comfort, and short-term gain. On the other lies responsibility, sacrifice, and long-term survival. These choices, or the choices that we will make today, will impact not just today, but as well as the generations yet unborn. This is the very reason why the United Nations unites 193 countries with a goal, and that is the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, developed last 2015, and is expected to be developed, or to be achieved by 2030 and beyond. So our argument is the SK funds are always debated in barangays. Should they go to sports, or should they go to education? That is why we are here, because we strongly agree that the SK funds should always go, should go to the education sector. Why? Well, sports is beneficial, but then again, the impact is often limited, whereas the education directly addresses the roots and inequalities. And also, the local government addresses, or the local Sangguniang Kabataan addresses the local educational need, the local educational needs of each and every individual. The 1987 Constitution, Article 14, Section 1 states that that the state should protect and promote the right of every citizen to quality education in all levels. No, it's not just to protect, but also to promote. That is why, again, we strongly agree that the SK Fund should go to the education sectors. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. First affirmative speaker from Zamboanga Sibugay National High School. And now, I need 5 minutes on the clock to start the argument for the negative side. We have the Young Professionals Artists Club and the LGBT Ipil.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon also for my fellow competitors. Good afternoon to our panel of judges. The debate is all about should the fund should go to the sports or to the long-term education. For me, I strongly agree that the funds or the SK who is in position should encourage people to pursue education. Why? Because we all know education is the key of success. And for me, for this generation, poverty is a highly mass. In order to stop the number of poverty, we should all be educated, so we all can land a specific dream job that we all dream of.
So I think that was it. May I call the second speaker for the affirmative side?
Hello. Okay, so we really think that the SK fund should be allocated for educating sector or for the long-term effect, because first, SK is the bridge between youth and education. We all know that DepEd manages the formal education system, but then SK represents the youth at the barangay level. Let's just say basically in a nutshell, the DepEd focuses on the large-scale levels, while the SK focuses on the gaps or what should be filled in. According to RA 10742 or the SK Reform Act of 2015, it also connects to the SDG 4 or the quality education. So we all believe that all levels should attain that high education connected to the SDG 1 with the no poverty. That SK, who is working under the government, na dapat pumokus din sila sa edukasyon, kahit sa public o sa private man lang. Kaya, sports, alam natin na hindi naman namin dinidiscourage yung sports. Pero we all know na beneficial yung sports, pero konti lang yung natutugunan ng ganyang klaseng programa. Kung saan nasa edukasyon, may mga long-term siya na mga benepisyo sa mga tao o sa mga kabataan, kung saan natatas ang kanilang critical thinking skills, ang kanilang leadership skills. That's why you have the local youth development council, which is supported by the SAC. Now, for the argument 2, we have this: education is interconnected with other youth concerns. So this is connected with the other extracurriculars, just like I mentioned earlier. So education is not isolated lang, but it also focuses on health, employment, environment, and peace. So if we focus sa sports lang, and hindi tayo mag-focus sa education, paano na ang kinabukasan ng bayan? O ang mga bata, dahil ang pinaka-purpose ng mga bata kung bakit sila nag-aaral, dahil para sa mga ininyero, sa mga guro, at sa mga lingkod bayan natin sa hinaharap. Ngayon, education strengthens youth empowerment and leadership. So ang role ng SK is to empower youth and may mga knowledge ang mga young people. So according to RA 8044 or Youth in Nation Building Act, na ang youth participation in nation is through education development. So like I mentioned from the last argument, it is more engaged and informed ang mga youth sa mga active in building opportunities. I mean, they are for the future. So they are all for the opportunities. So I really believe that for SDG, as we attain to get that sustainable development goals, dapat na pinopondohan ng SK ang edukasyon than sports. And I'm going to end this with this. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, second affirmative speaker. But I think there is a problem causing the argument. Okay, they both discussed education as one of their, on their defense, why ang education ang ila ang defend. But it should be sports against education and education against sports. There is a clarification for the YPAC team na during the drawlats daw po, they were informed that education daw ang ilahon, sir. Yes po, we have the affirmative and the negative side. Yes po. The negative side should be supporting the popular, which is the sports, that is highly implemented here sa the norms mga sa SK.
I'd like to raise that there's an error on the motion being raised because when you're raising a motion, you're not going to raise two motions at one time. Kasi it's supposedly, for example, this house believes that SK funds should go to sports rather than education. That's how it should have been crafted, so that it would be clear that Sibugay National High School would be debating on the affirmative side that yes, it should be sports, while the negative side would rather go on education. However, since na naman ta diri and we just need to declare a winner, we're going to judge based on the arguments that will be raised by each side, regardless of they are going to focus on education or in sports, so that we could have a clear winner and we would not disregard the preparations made by each side. So we'll just allow them to talk, and then the judges will just anchor our decision on the winner based on who gave a better argument with supporting documentation.
Yes.
Okay, so in simple terms, both teams can defend the side of the education and trainings, but the judges or their verdict must depend on the best argument, on who represented education and trainings very well. So is that clear? You can both defend education and trainings for this argument. Okay? So since the second affirmative speaker for Zamboanga Sibugay National High School has ended her spiel, may I request the second speaker from the YPAC Ipil. I need 5 minutes on the clock, please.
Good day, everyone. Judges, to my fellow Filipino, hello. So, regarding po sa topic natin kanina, it's all about the SK funds that is always debated in barangay, or should we go to sports or education and training? I would rather go to education and training kasi if we more focus po sa sports, it won't last forever po. Unlike po sa education, that if we youth po should be more focused on education, malaki po ang posibilidad na magkakaroon po ng pagkakaunawaan ng bawat isa po sa ating barangay po. And I also believe that if we would be more focused on sports, it won't encourage also people po to educate them po. And I also believe that if we'd be more focused on education and training, it would give us the best it would give us best. And also I believe po, if we have to be more focused on education, we could have a better place to live in po. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And for the rebuttals, may I request 3 minutes on the clock? Okay. Yes po. Okay, for the final speaker, may I request oh. Okay. 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 So, okay, I'm so sorry. I'm stuck with the same argument, mga good ma'am.
But we can,
So,
but we can give the floor to the third speakers in order for them to also present their
arguments.
and they can also do a wrap up na lang of their arguments.
so, may I have the final speaker for the Zamboanga Sibugay National High School? 3 minutes.
Good afternoon to our esteemed judges, to our fellow debaters, and to our esteemed spectators in the front, and to our live audiences. Our argument is grounded on SDGs 1, 4, 8, and 17, which are SDGs no poverty, quality education, and partnership for the goals. Now, again and again, education strengthens youth leadership, while SK's main aim is to empower the youth. That is with accordance to the Republic Act 8044, which is the Youth and Nation Buildings Act. As we all know, the educated ones, especially the youth, are more engaged in community buildings rather than those who are not. Makikita po natin sa ating panahon ngayon at malalaman po natin na ang yung mga kabataan po na may pinag-aralan o nag-aaral ay mas engaged sa kanilang community services at sa atin pong nation building. So, while we say that SK doesn't replace the Department of Education's mandate because it is broad and national, SK addresses the gaps on the ground because masasabi po natin yon because SK sila po yung nag-implement. They focus solely on the well-being and the welfare of the youth. Now, the original question is, should the funds go to the sports or education? I will say this, while we do not discourage the short and popular allocation of the funds, which is usually to the sports, kasi palagi po natin yung nakikita halos kada may ganap po sa barangay, may paliga, may pa-basketball. Yes, I know that is that is what is happening right now. So while we do not discourage that, we firmly believe that education develops leadership, critical thinking, and civic values, while sports foster only one dimension of youth development. So, according to the Republic Act 10931, education is a shared responsibility across various government organizations. Kaya po, hindi lang po DepEd ang dapat na mag-focus sa educations. Rather, everyone po na may kinalaman sa welfare and well-being of the whole community. And that would be my final statement for the affirmative side. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And of course, let's give the floor to the final speaker from the YPAC Ipil.
Hello, good afternoon to each and everyone. Ito ang aking salaysay. Since na pareho naman na pinili ang education, lalo pang ipina-implement ang edukasyon. Marahil, lalo na dito sa ating Municipality of Ipil na mas marami ang OSY o out of school youth, di ba? So mas pipiliin pa na mas ipa-implement pa more ang edukasyon. Lalo na according to our last meeting from the different organization, the report was Makilas was the have the most popularity of the OSY, following by Barangay Magdob. So, dito pa lang makikita na marami nga ang mga estudyante, ang mga bata na hindi na pumapasok halos sa paaralan. Marahil sa mga iba-ibang rason, iba-ibang desisyon na kanilang mga pinili. Kadalasan din, dito mas pinili pa nila ang maghanap buhay din. Kaya, kailangan pa i-implement pa mas lalo ang edukasyon. Kaya nga, in-implement din ng House Bill of RA 10533 of the Enhanced Basic Education na mas lalo pa nitong ipinahalagahan ang edukasyon. Kagaya na nga ng sinabi na education is the key of success. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, YPAC Ipil. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was our two final teams, battling for the argument of which is to prioritize, education or sports. But then again, they have only argued one argument, which is on how to defend the side of education and trainings. So, I think it's time for the judges' critique. May I request both teams to please rise? Okay. So let's start with our judge number 1, Honorable Jongjong Alcariza.
Thank you again. I was so excited, really, to hear two opposing ideas, because this has become a very good issue in the community, whether isang ko na yung kabataan focuses on the sports development only, or you have isang ko na yung kabataan, no, to the improvement of education and even. However, I did not see the opposite pero sayang. But at High School, in your presentation, I appreciate every time you cite provisions of the law. That is very important in the presentation. In the Sangguniang Bayan, every time we formulate ordinances, we always quote not only a few but as many provisions of the law, especially in the Republic Act 7160. Not to justify, you did that. You cited some provisions of the law, especially in the nation building. And that was your justification why you are on the affirmative side, no? To promote education and training, which is long-term and sustainable in its effect. So my vote goes to the Zamboanga Sibugay National High School. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Judge number 1, Honorable Jongjong Alcariza. And to hear our Judge number 2, Mr. Greg Oliver Epad, you can have your verdict now.
Hello. Ayan, good afternoon and congratulations to both teams, Zamboanga Sibugay National High School and the YPAC LGBTQIA+ community. And you really represented well your group, so congratulations for that. By the way, I believe that Zamboanga Sibugay National High School delivered it clearly, and I guess they deserve my vote for this time. So, congratulations, Zamboanga Sibugay National High School, for the win. So, ayan. So, 2 out of 3 na.
Okay, should we hear Judge number 3?
So, good afternoon, no? Naman yun na siya, no? It's not like a pageant nga. I-reserve na to ang winner for the best for last. Anyway, we have technical issues ganina and but please don't be discouraged that we are experiencing this kind of fun. This is quite a new exercise sa ato. This is the first time. So ana gyud na ang mga anak gani silang first anak maglisod man, no, ingon ana gyud na siya. And right now mga birth pains and that also gives us nakita nato that there's a need for orientation and para ma-develop nato ang debate culture here sa ato ang municipality. So right now gani cons nag-chat dagat na ko yung mga ka-chat mga debaters na they're seeing us live. And ginakuan nila nga no, don't be discouraged, ayaw mo kadlok. They are praising how brave you are nga nata diri. No? That this is a start for everyone. Ayaw mo ka-discourage, mapildi mo diri, na kuan mo, no, it's not. Mga debaters si Doc Ipanto, regards daw sa uncle man daw kaniya. From the US pa nagagantaw sa ato aron, and they are very happy that you have this bravery, no? You have this courage nga mo atubang musturya. So, mauna sa das ako siguro ang yuon na nato ning SB ani kay since this is debate mas mauman ni ang kuan ninyo, we will develop a better debate program. Ko salamat gyud kaayo cons alkuri sa daan. We will have so that you will gain more experience, you give orientations para di mo mapareha sa ako nga pag abot og Sambuanga na kuyawan nga lahi dihi ang format, lahi dihi ang culture. No, dahil nang ako mga naatbang dito, ako ang mga naggikan og international competitions. So, ako gani nga oriented sa una ng kulbaan, kamo pakaha nga karon di ka ayo mo oriented. So, congratulations on your courage. Don't be discouraged, ha? Padayon ta ani kay daghan patag pwede mahimo ug daghan tag matun-an. On that note, again, this will be a unanimous decision towards Zamboanga Sibugay National High School. But I'd also like to praise the LGBTY PAC, no? Ang kuan ninyo because they stated provisions. Since this afternoon, the start of the first round, provisions ang gikuan. But there's one thing that I would like to emphasize, naghatag mo og statistics. Okay? Debate is not just about provisions. It's also about statistics. Kaya kung nana mo diri, mahimo mong konsehal, pareha ni Cons nga magkuan diri na sa mga debates, they also rely not just on the law, but on statistics because that will ground kung unsa ang gapanghitabo currently. Kasi usahay, atong mga balaod o atong mga natun-an, they are already outdated. So kinahanglan ta og bag-ong statistics so that we could have better arguments on better standing on our arguments. So, congratulations on making that. Hopefully, ayaw mo ka-discourage. And congratulations sa Zamboanga Sibugay National High School.
Okay, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Our winner for this argument, we have Zamboanga Sibugay National High School. A round of applause, please. Okay. And also, we would like to congratulate YPAC Ipil, LGBTQIA+, Ipil, for representing the community very well. And on behalf of the SK Federation Council, we would like to apologize for the confusions with regards with the topic given. Actually, the argument stated there that I think it's clear enough, but I think wala lang gud na orient well ang ato ang participants on what side they have to choose. So, on that note, we would like to apologize for the confusions. I hope you still join next debate cup, no? This is a good start for you guys. So, I think our chairperson of the Board of Judges requested a 5 minutes break. Mag-orient na lang ko daan, ma'am. Where is Zamboanga Sibugay National High School facilitator? Ma'am, mag-orient lang tadaan po during our 5 minutes break. Since Zamboanga Sibugay won the argument against the YPAC Ipil, LGBTQIA+ Ipil, they will be considered as semi-finalist number 2. And stated here or written here, we have our final argument will be discussing environment and climate, which is SDG 13 and 15. So, as for semi-finalist 1, they will take the affirmative side. And semi-finalist 2, they will take the negative side. Is that clear, ma'am? Okay lang po? Okay. So, I know that you're all oriented na enough. So, you can start writing down notes or you can have a pee break. Yes, you can ask. Okay. Staff, secretariat staff, mga daw sila og new notes, mother, for papers. Okay, semi-finalist 1 will take the affirmative side and semi-finalist 2 will take the negative side.
Yes, they will be defending that we should ban plastics and they will encourage us to use plastics.
Please do settle down, for we will start our, we will continue our SDG Debate Cup 2025. So teams, please do settle your notes, your copies of your arguments, and please do proceed to the podiums for us to formally start the event.
Okay.
So we're now live.
We're now live na to. We're now back live. Kung gamay na. We're now live. We're now back live. We're now back live. We're nag-back live.
Okay, once again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Sustainable Development Goals Debate Cup 2025 in coordination with the celebration of Linggo ng Kabataan municipal-wide competition in the year 2025. So the teams who proceeded to the final round are the Sangguniang Kabataan Poblasyon Ipil against Zamboanga Sibugay National High School. And to formally start our final round, may I request both teams to please proceed to the podium. To claim the affirmative side, we have Sangguniang Kabataan Poblasyon Ipil, and to the negative side, we have the Zamboanga Sibugay National High School. Topic to be discussed will be focusing on SDG 13 and 15, Environment and Climate. Should Ipil ban single-use of plastics? Once again, should Ipil ban single-use plastics? Okay, to start with the affirmative side, our first affirmative speaker we have from Poblasyon Ipil, Zamboanga Sibugay.
Hello. Good afternoon. This House believes that the municipality of Ipil should ban from using plastics. Today, we stand on the proposition side, strongly affirming the motion, yes, Ipil should ban single-use plastics. Why? Because banning single-use plastic is not only a matter of environmental concern, but also a matter of health, economics, and moral responsibility. And let me take you that to our arguments. I have here 7 environmental factors that prove that we should ban usage of plastics here in Ipil. First, environmental protection. First, single-use plastics are one of the greatest environmental threats of our time. They are designed to be used for mere minutes, yet they persist in the environment for hundreds of years. Point to ponder. In Ipil, as in many towns across the Philippines, plastics bags and sachet clog canals, rivers, and drainage systems. These worsen flooding and drainage systems and endangering lives and property. When these plastics reach the sea and they could possibly harm the marine life. Turtles mistaken plastic bags for jellyfish, fish consumes microplastics, and seabirds die with stomachs full of plastics. If we do not act now, we are condemning our rivers, our seas, our biodiversity to destruction. A ban is clear, effective step to present times. Second, health concerns. Second, single-use plastics are not just environmental issue, they are a health issue. Microplastic, tiny fragments of plastics have been found in fish, shellfish, drinking water, and even in the air we breathe. This means that the very plastics we throw away come back to us and through our food. Scientists have raised concerns that microplastics may disrupt hormones, impair digestions, and pose other health risks and still be studied. By banning single-use plastics, Ipil is not only protecting nature, it is protecting the Ipileños. 3. Economic benefits. Third, banning single-use plastics has become economic benefits. Right now, plastic waste is expensive to collect, segregate, and dispose of. Of ban reducing waste of the sources, lowering costs for the local government. Furthermore, cleaner surroundings will attract more visitors and boost local tourism. Imagine an Ipil known for not plastic-choked rivers but for clean coastlines and vibrant eco-friendly markets. Finally, a ban opens opportunity for local business to innovate. Instead of used plastics, entrepreneurs can produce reusable bags, bamboo, packaging, or woven containers made from abaca and native materials. In this way, the ban does not kill business, it creates a new one. 4. Waste management challenges. Fourth, let's be realistic in Ipil. Like many municipalities struggles with solid waste management. Landfills are filling up and recycling systems are limited. Most single-use plastics cannot be recycled efficiently. They just pile up in dump sites or end up scattered in our communities. A ban is the most practical solution. It reduces the volume of garbage, eases the burden on our waste management systems, and promotes cleaner and more livable neighborhoods. 5. Global and local precedents. 5th, Ipil will not only be alone on this effort. Many cities in the Philippines, Muntinlupa, Cebu, Quezon City, have already banned or regulated single-use plastics, and the results are positive. Waste has been reduced, waterways are cleaner, and the citizens adapted by bringing reusable bags and containers. Globally, dozens of countries have taken this step. If others can do it, why can't Ipileños? No, let's start a great change, a small step. By joining this movement, Ipil shows leadership and responsibility in tackling a global problem. 6. Community responsibility. 6. A band instills discipline and responsibility among citizens. It challenges people to shift away from the culture convenience and embrace sustainability. Instead of always relying on disposables, people learn to bring eco bags, tumblers, and containers. This change is not just about rules, it's about values. It teaches the community, especially the youth, that small sacrifices today lead to a cleaner and healthier tomorrow. 7. Last, moral and integrational day. Finally, banning single-use plastic is moral responsibility. We owe it to the future generations. And if we allow plastic pollution to continue unchecked, our children will...
Time's up. Let's proceed to the first speaker from the negative side, coming from the Zamboanga Sibugay National High School. 5 minutes on the clock, please.
Okay, protocols observed. The humanity today stand at a crossroad. One path lies convenience, comfort, and short-term gains. On the other hand lies responsibility, sacrifice, and survival. That is why the United Nations unites 193 countries to a goal, and that is the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. This House believes, and firmly believes, that we should not ban single-use plastics. Because as of the moment, only 35% of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals has been achieved. 48 are slow, and 18 are regress compared from 2015, accordingly itself from the United Nations. It is very evident na hindi epektibo ang pagbaban ng single-use plastic. Ang solusyon ay hindi simpleng pagbabawal, kundi maingat na pamamahala, inobasyon, at tamang waste management. It is better for us to practice responsible plastic management and circular economy, not outright bans. Because if we look closely through the lens of the SDG 12, which is the responsible consumption and production, and also the SDG 18, which is the decent work and economic growth. Again, ang solusyon ay hindi simpleng pagbabawal, kundi maingat na pamamahala, inobasyon, at tamang waste management. Because if we look closely, we can't just remove single-use plastic. Like say, for example, in the hospitals, one of the single-use plastics are syringes and other plastic hospital paraphernalias. No, we can't use them again because it is also for the safety of every patient. No, we are not just looking at the box. We are looking outside the box. That is why, again, we firmly believe that we should not ban single-use plastics. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now to hear from our second affirmative speaker from SK Poblacion Ipil. 5 minutes on the clock.
So, in addition to to support our arguments, so before I start this speech, I would like to say that the SDG, or the Sustainable Development Goals, has three pillars. It is the prosperity, the nation, the environment, and the people. It should always answer the. It should always think about the different aspect and the factors that it will affect. So this plastic don't just look ugly. They kill our environment, animals, and even livestock that mistakes that for food and they die. Protecting biodiversity is exactly what SDG 15, Life on Land, as well as SDG 13, Climate Action, call us to do. In fact, under 9003, Ecological Solid Waste Management, LGUs are already mandated to reduce waste, which is supported also by Philippine Clean Air Act, or RA, or Republic Act 8749. Instead of spending on flood response and healthcare, why not prevent it in the first place by banning what caused it? We are not asking to ban all plastics, only unnecessary single-use plastics like straw. Yes? Okay, let me address that question. So, we are not asking to ban all plastics, only unnecessary single-use plastic like straw bags and sachet. Essential plastics is not in hospital can remain extended as one of the Sustainable Development Goals in number 3, which is good health and well-being, to ensure healthy lives and promote well-being. So did I answer your question? So let me continue. We lack facilities for waste management, as what you have said. But that's exactly why we need to ban single use of plastic to reduce the waste we struggle for manage. If we cannot handle plastic waste now, why produce more of it? Convenience is temporary, right? But destruction is permanent. Plastics are cheap today, but the hidden cost for the effect of floods. In floods, hospitable bills, environmental damage are more expensive. Small actions build big impact. We may not shut down global coal plants. It's because it is one of the resources or livelihood of us Filipino in a community. But we can control our plastic use. That's all.
Okay, thank you so much. Second speaker from the affirmative side. Now let's hear our second speaker from the negative side, from the Zamboanga Sibugay National High School. 5 minutes on the clock.
Good day. I stand in support of the continued use of single-use plastics, especially in our local context here in Ipil. Why? First of all, it is used often in food packaging and market sales. While public market and small stores, single-use plastics are widely used for rice and fish, fruits and tingi-tingi, which is currently mentioned that sachets, and it is essentially and it is affordable for daily consumers. This is supported by the Municipality of Ipil Ordinance number 06538/2019. It regulates the use of plastic bags and styrofoam in all commercial establishments, not completely ban it. Therefore, it does not completely ban the plastic and styrofoam, as I believe they're also supporting that we should not fully ban it. It supports the SDG 2, which is zero hunger and ensuring food is preserved. Now, continuing, second is convenience for consumers and transport. Plastic bags are cheap, lightweight, and waterproof, making them practical for carrying groceries and goods, especially in coastal barangays and rural areas where people had long-distance trade-offs. It supports the SDG 8, or the decent work and economic growth. Now, for the hygiene and safety. In eateries or carinderias, street food stalls here in Ipil, disposable plastic utensils, cups, and packagings are often used. Now, may I ask you, did you ever use a single-use plastic in your life? Of course. I know na iisa-isa sa atin, gumamit na tayo ng plastic. And I know, lalo na sa pagkain at sa kalusugan, ina-avoid na to ang waterborne diseases. Now, let me state a statistic from World Health Organization in COVID-19 na 30% global increase in single-use plastics nung nangyari ng pandemic. So locally, dito sa Ipil, maraming food stalls na gumamit nun, and it certainly helped us as citizens. Now, sinasabi nyo na plastic is concern. Pero better siya kung magkaroon tayo ng total waste management and hindi total ban ang gagawin natin. In fact, sa RA 9003 na sinabi nilang i-regulate lang natin and hindi i-ban. Now, pag sinabi nyo na, may mga paper bags naman na gamitin natin para hindi maka-apekto sa mga karagatan o mga hayop sa karagatan. Well, let me tell you na ang mga paper bags, nagre-require sila ng 3 times more energy and 4 times more water to produce from plastic bags. Cloth bags must be reused over 100 times to match the carbon footprint of one plastic bag. Now, for the SDG, we know na ang mga single-use plastic bags is not, suggestible na para gamitin natin. Pero in order to attain the other SDGs, like just what I mentioned here na ang SDG 2, SDG 8, and SDG 3, we really need to use the single-use plastic bags. I mean, di naman lapit natin gagamitin lagi, pero i-regulate lang natin and i-balance yung total waste management na ginagawa natin. So, para sa much stronger reuse, alam naman natin na may mga government, may mga sectors, and we, youth, marami kaming pwedeng iambag para ma-mitigate ang nangyayaring polusyon na sinasabi nila. Yun lamang po at maraming salamat.
Thank you so much, our second speaker from the negative side. And now let's hear the rebuttal from the SK Poblacion Ipil.
Ladies and gentlemen, I may conclude now our rebuttal. Every plastic bag we throw away today is a problem buried by tomorrow. Blood in our streets, plastic in our bay, and toxin in our air, these are not just environmental issues. These are human issues. We cannot build sustainable Ipil if we continue to drown in single-use plastics. We may not control the world's factories, but we can control what enters in our communities by becoming by banning single-use plastics. We may take responsibility for our future, for our children, and for our land. As they said earlier, we may find convenient alternative from using plastics on styrofoams like eco bags. There are bamboo packaging or even woven containers for them. And also, discipline is more important, but rules guide discipline. We may never regulate, but people will continue to choose what's cheap and easy, right? Kahit na masama sa environment. But regulations still allows waste to pile up. And banning sends a strong message. Ipil is serious about protecting our environment. Gradually, ban can still be implemented step by step. Convenience lasts minutes, but destructions last generations. Today, let us choose courage over convenience. Let's say no to single-use plastic and say yes to life, health, and hope for Ipil. Thank you and good afternoon.
Okay, thank you so much, SK Poblacion Ipil. Now, to hear the final speaker coming from the Zamboanga Sibugay National High School. 3 minutes on the clock, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. So to sum everything up, that me and my debaters on the negative side stated, a full plastic ban would significantly disrupt local businesses, particularly small business vendors and food establishments. Dahil makikita po natin dito sa bayan ng Ipil na ang pinaka number one po na gumagamit o nag-produce, not produce, but the one who uses single-use plastics for their everyday means of work and livelihood are small business owners or small vendors. Now, waste management issues. The town's waste management system is already inadequate with limited recycling infrastructure. Banning plastics without strengthening waste sorting and composting systems lead to a buildup of alternative waste, such as paper and glass. Now, according to the Zamboanga Sibugay Provincial Environment and Natural Resources Office, or PENRO, in 2019, 40 to 50% of municipal waste in Ipil are without proper recycling infrastructure. And a sudden ban could lead to a rise of alternative waste. So this statistic highlights the unpreparedness of Ipil to handle a full-scale ban. Immediate action may have negative consequences. The other party, which proposed outright ban, fails to consider the practical realities of implementing such a change in community where small businesses and waste management systems are not yet ready for such a drastic shift. So palagi po nilang sinasabi na for the future, kailangan po natin gawin ito for future implications, for future purposes. Hindi po natin kini-consider ang state ng Ipil ngayon. Meron po tayong kakulangan sa mga kagamitan, kakulangan sa mga pasilidad. At kung susumahin po lahat ng sinasabi ko, an outright ban is good, but Ipil is not yet ready. We are not yet ready. It is the fact that the other debaters, the other side, the affirmative side, fails to consider. So, again, we would like to promote waste management and not complete banning. That would be all. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. And that was our final speaker coming from the Zamboanga Sibugay National High School. So may I request both teams to please rise as our judges will give their verdict. Once again, our final teams came from Sangguniang Kabataan Poblacion Ipil and Zamboanga Sibugay National High School. And to hear the verdict of our first judge, Honorable Jongjong Alcariza.
Thank you. I'd like to take notice of the statement of the second speaker from the negative side when she cited an ordinance formulated in 2019 by the local government unit of Ipil. I would like to inform everybody that I am the author, the principal author of that local ordinance regulating the use of single plastics in the municipality of Ipil. However, what was lacking ever since until now is the full implementation. But I would like to let you know that with the current administration of Mayor Rambo Ligario, we have already agreed that before the end of this year, before the end of 2025, we will revive my ordinance, the regulation of the plastic ordinance, no? So I am happy. In fact, when I was out of this council, every time I have a chance of meeting the then Vice Mayor Rambo Ligario, he would always tell me, Cons, pero di na ko konsehal at that time, ha? Wala ko kabalik pa. Sayang kaayo ang imuhang ordinance, kay wala pa gyud nato na implement. But sige lang. And what I told him is that sige lang, Vice, basin di og ma-mayor ka unya makonsehal ko balik. Uy, it happened. So, thank you very much, no? Ako lang tong kwan para sa wala na hibalo. Okay. The sangguniang kabataan from Poblacion, I appreciate the way you presented, no? That as much as possible, we will ban the single-use plastic materials in the municipality of Ipil. But you know, that is the most ideal thing to do. However, it's very impossible to do that as of this time, considering that if we continue drinking this kind of bottled water, we are wasting a single-use. This is a good example of a single-use plastic. In fact, I even to the local government unit of Ipil that before we will implement the ordinance that was mentioned by the second speaker of the negative side, we will start with the implementation of that ordinance right here in the municipio. That it will come to a point that every time we drink soft drinks, for example, we will no longer use the bottled, plastic bottled soft drinks. Instead, we have to go back to the traditional soft drinks, which is bottle. Because every time nga ang bottle nga imong imnon, imo man nang ibalik, kay sudlan man nagbalik sa Pepsi or sa Coca-Cola. And as much as possible, I'd like to introduce to the local government unit of Ipil, as we start implementing the ordinance, we will refrain from using this kind of water. Instead, every member of the Sangguniang Bayan, for example, every employee of the municipal government of Ipil, we should bring our own cups or perhaps glasses. Anyway, naaman tayong mga unlimited water supply there is sa munisipyo. Dili na tamo gamit ani as much as possible. And naglisod biya kog judge between the two of you, between the affirmative and the negative side. But I'd like to take notice of the negative side when you consistently trying to introduce, trying to tell the truth, the reality that Ipil as of this time is not ready to implement the single-use plastics ban. We cannot ban totally, but we can regulate. We can regulate, and that's what I like in your presentation. Total ban is very impossible, but unsa may atong buhaton kung dili nato pwedeng i-ban, i-regulate. So there's a very slight difference in my scoring sa tinuod lang, pero I'd like to say that the Zamboanga Sibugay National High School got me there. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Honorable Jongjong Alcariza, for the given knowledge to us, especially when you have mentioned that you have authored that kind of ordinance here in Ipil. But too much for that. Let's hear the verdict of our second judge, Mr. Greg Oliver Epat.
Thank you, Mr. Josh. Honorable Josh. So first and foremost, again, congratulations for making it on top. Ayan. So you're in the final round. And one thing is for sure, we will have one winner for this afternoon. And I'd like to be realistic. No? So I love the way Zamboanga Sibugay National High School give their speeches. They're not so much relying on their what do you call this one, script. So congratulations for giving your best for this afternoon's competition, and congratulations, you have my vote.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Greg Oliver Epat. And now, our chairman of the Board of Judges, let's hear the verdict from Mr. UJ Almocera.
Okay, before I give my verdict, I would just like to give my feedback on both teams. Now, number one, congratulations for giving us a very good show this afternoon. So, nindot nga to ang warm up, nag-warm up ta ganina, no? And then we got better. So, if ingon na nga tong improvement after one round, dako kay tag mahimong improvement if we are going to have a capacity building for students and our SKs on how to do these debates. Especially the SKs, aron mas nindot na ang inyo ang presence sa inyo ang mga sessions, no? That would help you on how we're going to do that. For the SK Poblacion Ipil, what I love was how you each complemented your build-up on your argument. You stayed true and you stayed focused on from this first speaker, and your arguments raised were relevant man pod, no? Relevant and also without relevant while also answering the arguments of the opposition. So nindot to siya, and then I love how you focused on your debates on the services and on the gains of our society towards that, no? So dito ang inyo you earned points on that side. For the Zamboanga Sibugay National High School, the argument the motion itself is quite hard to defend because we are all moving towards the affirmative. I mean, in reality, no. But you have presented a very good alternative, and you presented the realities very well. Lisod man na siya good nga kontraho na ni mudaan kung unsa ang sakto. Yes, di ba? So dito na for example kanang sa implementation ana. Actually, that was the ordinance was crafted in 2019, and 2020 we started implementing na unta. Unfortunately, COVID happened. Dito nato naglisod ang single-use plastic. Ang atong mask man gani, single-use raman po to. So, nahawa. And then hope, and right now, nindot kaayo ang atong mahimong steps on sa comeback ni Consejal Alcoriza, that you have the avenue to implement this. And dito nato nakitaan, this would not only debates like this would not only help you but also help legislators like Kong Alcoriza to further see how to craft their ordinances, no? That's why hopefully when we do a finals after kung magkuanta, we're also going to invite other councilors so that they could also take inspiration from young leaders and young debaters like you. Kay di man po na sila perfect, although they are experienced, much ganahan po kay na sila because this batch of lawmakers karon daghan magbatanon, ganahan kay maminaw. Di pa batanon pa man siya, kaya pa man siya nag-senior. So dito paghihapon na siya. So that's how these kind of avenues, these debates help us, no? Even if dili kay ni siya daghan kay it's not like a pageant nga daghan kaayo ta og audience that would reach further. It's dito naman ta magkuan sa quality na pod on our reach in society. So congratulations on both teams, but as what I have said, I would give my point to the team who dodged a bullet nga naglisod og nag-defend sa isa ka lisod kay nga stand, and that goes to Zamboanga Sibugay National High School.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, our champion for the SDG Debate Cup 2025, the team from Zamboanga Sibugay National High School. A round of applause, please. But before we proceed to the awarding or proclamation of winners, may I have this moment to give our certificates of appreciation to the Board of Judges. So teams, you can go at the back set to have your seats, and please do shake the hands of your co-team competitors. So, as I award or as I give the certificate of appreciation, may I call on our Sangguniang Kabataan Federation President, Honorable Trixie Palalon, to be here on stage, as you will give the certificates as well as the tokens of appreciation. So as I award the certificate of appreciation, let me read to you the citation. Republic of the Philippines, Province of Zamboanga, Sibugay, Municipality of Ipil, Office of the Sangguniang Kabataan Federation, Certificate of Appreciation. This certificate is proudly presented to, for his invaluable service and wholehearted participation as judge during the SDG Debate Cup, Linggo ng Kabataan 2025 municipal-wide celebration held on August 29, 2025 at the SB Session Hall IMGC Taway, Ipil, Zamboanga, Sibugay, carrying the theme Local Youth Actions for the SDGs and Beyond. His dedication and expertise have significantly contributed to the success of the program and the empowerment of the youth in advancing leadership, dialogue, and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Given this 29th day of August 2025 at the SB Session Hall, IMGC Taway, Ipil, Zamboanga, Sibugay. Signed by our very own SK Federation President ex officio SB member, Municipality of Ipil, Honorable Trixie Toralba Palalon. Certificate of appreciation is given to Honorable Alberto A. Calcoriza Jr., Sangguniang Bayan member of the Municipality of Ipil. Okay, thank you so much, Honorable Jongjong Alcariza, for being one of our judge. And with the same citation, the certificate of appreciation is proudly presented to Mr. Greg Oliver G. Epat, our local youth development officer designated here at the Municipality of Ipil. A round of applause, please. And of course, with the same citation, certificate of appreciation is proudly presented to Mr. Ulysses John P. Almocera, Assistant Municipal Social Welfare and Development Officer here in the Municipality of Ipil, and for his participation as the Chairperson of the Board of Judges. A round of applause, please. So, photo op with the three judges after the, with Sir Eugene. Okay. So, photo op with the three judges, press. Kamu tulo. Okay, Sir Greg. Please listen. So stubborn. Okay, as they were having their photo op here, please do ready for the participating teams, as I will give to you your certificates of participation. Okay, thank you so much, Board of Judges. And now I will give the certificate of appreciation or participation to our competing teams. Okay, reading to you the citation: Republic of the Philippines, Province of Zamboanga, Sibugay, Municipality of Ipil, Office of the Sangguniang Kabataan Federation, Certificate of Participation is proudly presented to for its active participation in the SDG Debate Cup, one of the highlight activities of the Linggo ng Kabataan 2025 municipal-wide celebration held on August 29, 2025 at the SB Session Hall, IMGC Taway, Ipil, Zamboanga, Sibugay. This recognition is given in acknowledgement of the institution's support in fostering youth leadership, critical thinking, and constructive dialogue in pursuit of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, carrying the theme Local Youth Actions for the SDGs and Beyond, given this 29th day of August 2025 at the Municipality of Ipil, Zamboanga, Sibugay, signed by our very own SK Federated President, Honorable Triximil Toralba Palalon. This certificate of participation is proudly presented to Zamboanga Sibugay National High School. So, together with their advisor or coach, Ma'am Liza, please be here up front po. Okay, thank you so much, Zamboanga Sibugay National High School. With the same citation, certificate of participation is proudly presented to Ipil Shepherd Montessori Center. And with the same citation, certificate of participation is proudly presented to YPAC Ipil Young Professionals Artist Club LGBTQIA Ipil. And for the last competing team, certificate of participation is proudly presented to SK Poblacion Ipil with their ever gorgeous and loving, supportive, and very beautiful SK chairperson, Joshua A. Santa Cruz.
Okay, may I request to all participants to have a photo ops together with the three judges and all participants. Together with the coaches, advisors, and Sangguniang Kabataan SK chairperson.
Okay, thank you so much, participating teams. And of course, to our board of judges. I have already proclaimed the winners. Our grand champion for the SDG Debate Cup, we have the participants from the Zamboanga Sibugay National High School. Congratulations. And of course, to our first placer, we have Sangguniang Kabataan Poblacion Ipil. A round of applause, please. Congratulations to both teams. Our awarding ceremony will be held on August 31, 2025. Please do wear your any katutubong kasuotan if you have Barong Tagalog or Barot Saya. If you have.
Hello.
Okay.
I'd like to extend my deepest gratitude to...
I'm not done yet. Okay, so Zamboanga Sibugay National High School together with SK Poblacion Ipil. Our awarding will be held on August 31, 7 p.m. at the Provincial Capital Atrium. Okay, please be there. And then please do wear any formal attire na lang Dagway Press. Or we are encouraging you to wear your katutubong kasuotan. If you have modernized Filipiniano or Barong Tagalog.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'd like to...
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for
Your
this
Honor.
given opportunity for me to host one of the most prestigious event in line with the celebration of Linggo na Kabataan 2025 municipal-wide competition. This has been Joshua A. Santa Cruz, your ever-loving, ever-gorgeous, ever-beautiful SK Chairperson
Your
of Poblacion
Honor.
Ipil, bidding you goodbye and have a good afternoon. This is Joshua A. Santa Cruz, your
Ilan na ba?
master of ceremony, signing off. Goodbye, Greg.
I'd like to extend my deepest gratitude to Muse Tunet for securing our venue for our gala night at Capitol Atrium, together with all the amenities here, amenities there, especially the LED wall, lights and sounds, the red carpet, the table, and the chair cloth. Thank you so much, Muse. Si Muse.
I am never surprised with what she brought to us
Why?
for August 31. She can be seated at the back.